After an exciting night of heat racing last night, the One-Up Winter Classic returns with a C-Main feature to decide which 5 drivers will get a second chance at making the A-Main by racing in through the B. It sounds complicated because it kinda is, but we're here with the C-Main semi-feature consisting of 40 laps. And alongside me to bring you the action tonight is none other than Duke Gansack again. So, this race is full of unknowns because we haven't gone this far before these events, and we don't know how these guys are going to race over an extended period of time, if the tires are going to fall off at all. There's a lot we don't know, but one thing's for sure: these guys are going to have their foot to the floor for the entirety of this race.
Oh, you're absolutely right. So, if we thought the heat races were pretty aggressive, I mean, and they were, but now it's do or die. All these drivers are in a situation where you have to finish in the top 5 to advance. If you finish outside of that threshold, you are done for the whole event. So you have to be in the top at the top of your game in this race. So that just means everybody's going to be more aggressive. Like you said, we haven't gone this far yet. We're going to be going 15 more laps than any of those heat races were. So it'll be very interesting to see if anybody has some long run speed kind of built into their machines for this race specifically. We'll see what happens. 40 laps on a dirt track is going to be a lot of fun. We'll see how the track changes, how the driver's lines changes, and of course, who has the speed to get it done at the end.
And we have a lot of drivers that are staking their claim here tonight, and now we can look at the 20 drivers that'll be contesting for those 5 spots in this C main. We got Tegan Fox on pole position, looking to advance into the B main for the first time. Zachary Bilson lines up alongside in the 47. You got a bunch of superstar and Nitro National veterans behind them. Zachary Fitzwater, Chris Lattimore, and Devin Fair running at the top 5. But you also have some heavy hitters starting further back at Zachary DeLello in 8th, Jeffrey Finguy 9th, Jake McMillan 11th, and defending Truck Series champion Ryan Griffin all the way back in 19th. So there's a lot of room for error here, and these guys can't afford any of it.
You're right, and there's like you said, a lot of those guys that we really expected to be doing well in this whole event, starting towards the back. It's going to prove to be interesting because what we saw out of them in the heat races was that they finished back there, a lot of them, for a reason. So this will be very interesting just to see how they are able to have adjusted from the heat races, if they've built in long run speed, like I was saying before, and just it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I mean, these guys are going to put on an absolute show for us. The heat races were absolutely fantastic, and now the C main, I don't expect anything less. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
So with that being said, 20 cars lined up on the track. We're ready to bring you 40 laps of racing action. We'll see what happens from here on out. This is the One-Up Winter Classic C main, and it's coming to you live in a few short moments. Getting ready for 40 laps of C-Main racing, Tegan Fox leads us to the green flag, and boy, that's a good start for the 23 going off into the first corner. But we've seen time and time again that third place car gets a good run down the back straightaway. We'll see if Fitzwater can capitalize.
Yeah, it looks like that 59 will get, oh, maybe not, has trouble on the entry of that corner. Is going to slide up into second place, that 59 will. So the 23 keeps the lead from the pole. And now the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater is going to get to the bottom there of the 23 car, and we'll see how long it takes for that 59 to get by. It looks like it won't take long at all.
And with help from Devin Fair, Zachary Fitzwater will take the lead on lap 2. And we're 3 wide for the transfer spot further back. Bronson Minnick, Chris Lattimore, and Zachary Bilson all going for the same piece of real estate. But for right now, it's Fitzwater with the lead, Fox in second, and Bronson Minnick's on an absolute charge towards the front.
Yeah, Minnick is looking really good all the way down on the bottom right now. The bottom is the place to be. Like we had been talking about during the mains, is that really the passing groove is on that bottom lane. The top lane is his preferred lane to just run and ride around this track. You keep up enough momentum, but then when you want to go to pass somebody, you really have to be on the bottom. And right now, that's Chris Lattimore there on the bottom, leading the charge from everybody on that bottom lane. So we'll see how that works out for him and everybody else throughout this race. We still got a lot of racing to go in this one.
And the first 5 laps, Bronson Minnick's gained 5 spots. An incredible run for this 91. You see some 3 wide back here. McMillan, Devin Fair, Eric Monaco trading a little paint here on the dirt at Oswego. These cars can ramp off the top of each other given the right circumstances. So you don't want to make too much contact, but at the same time, it may end up being inevitable at some stages. But we have Eric Monaco now making a move towards the top 5. He's currently in the transfer spot, working on that 23 car.
Yeah, 14 looks good right now. I do expect a lot more comers and goers in this one just because the race is longer. Here's Chris Lattimore, who has just made it up into the 2nd place, passing Bronson Minnick right there. But now the 23 has fallen back. Our pole sitter has fallen back down into that 5th position. So right now, not looking too good for the 23. I think it's about time to get on the charge and start passing some folks here. This race is going by pretty quick here. We're already on lap 9.
And don't look now, but here comes that orange and white 29 of Ryan Griffin. Started 19th in this C main, and he is all the way up into the 8th position after just 9 laps. You can bet he's hungry to make that B main, and so far he's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and you know that's sort of what we expected from that 29 machine. In the heat race, started also in the back, but then sort of just stayed there for the whole thing, and now he's going up to the front. And somebody else that we expected to do well is Jake McMillan in the 21, who is making a move. But speaking of making a move, this is the 67 going for the lead.
That is Chris Lattimore in the 67 making a move for the top spot. These two will be getting quite acquainted with racing each other. Lattimore running for Rookie of the Year in the Superstar Series this season, alongside Fitzwater, who is a veteran of the series. These two are going toe-to-toe for the lead, but for now, Lattimore has it.
Yeah, Lattimore looks good out front right now. So he had passed Bronson Minnick, and then he just worked his way up to the top of the leaderboard right here. So he's doing real good, but he isn't pulling away, which is critical. It's going to possibly allow some others to get below and start to pass him again. So he's going to have to defend that position pretty well. Here's the 341, and that's Grigsby, started in 12th, now moving into the top 10 here, and looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, considering how Grigsby's heat race went, he had a terrible heat race. He started outside pole, but then fell to the absolute back and stayed there. So he didn't get a good starting spot for this C main, but he's doing a pretty good job. Running 7th, needs to maybe up to 6th now. He needs to pass a few more guys to make it happen. He got to pass the 23 and the 51 to make it up there. Got Tyler Pompey running the top of the racetrack. He's in that 39 machine. Zachary Dolello in the 03 trying to make some gains. Dolello was a big improvement in 2022 over 2021. We'll see how he does this time around in 2023. He's still got a lot of ground to make up, though, to make it into the B-Man.
Yeah, and he's in a dangerous spot down there at the bottom of 3 wide. When you're coming out of the corner, everybody slides up the track, and if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, we've seen things go wrong coming off the corner. In fact, the 2 crashes that we've seen so far have been coming out of the corner. So that's a dangerous spot to be 3 wide, but they've worked it out. And now this 03 is looking good on the bottom lane, getting by some cars here and just picking them off one by one.
That's something you don't see every day. Zachary Bilson actually making the high groove work for defending a pass. And now we look back here. Ryan Griffin's faded a little bit with Kev Shearer running together. James Ellison, after that big crash in his heat, was able to fix that car. He's making moves to try and get up to the front. We're closing in on halfway. These guys at the back have got to get a move on.
Yeah, and you can tell, I mean, they're going 3 wide every couple of laps here. All of them are just racing really hard. Everybody's trying to make something happen. You have to get to the front pretty soon here if you want to, because now we're at the rest of this race is going to be shorter length than any of the heats were. So this is going to be really just a sprint now to the finish. You have to start making your moves now if you want to have a chance to be in that top 5.
Yeah, you got these guys back here, Ellison, Shearer, Allison Rain, Nathan Stapleton just behind them. These guys have got to get a move on. And at the very back of the field, it's Jeffrey Finguy. That is perhaps the biggest surprise of the whole C-Main so far, is that 92 has not made any progress towards the front of the field. He actually started in 9th, so he has fallen all the way back to 20th on merit. So I don't know what's the problem with that car. Maybe it's not handling right. but he's got to find. But there's no chance to fix it now. He's got to hit the go button.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I think you just need to start sticking it down there on the bottom and try to see what happens. And right now, that's what he's doing, but it might not be enough. This is a big surprise, likely the biggest surprise that we've seen so far in this. And he's getting passed by that 60 car of Austin Runkle right there. So this is a big surprise from that 92 running all the way in the back.
Yeah. You might just want to put this behind him and focus on Speed Weeks at Daytona, because this has just not gone his way so far in the Winter Classic. But up at the front, it continues to be Chris Lattimore out in the lead by about a third of a second over Zachary Fitzwater. Bronson Minnick, Devin Fair, and Zachary DeLello have now settled into the transfer spots. But don't look now, but Tyler Pompey is making a move on DeLello for that final spot.
Yeah, really good. And I'll tell you about Chris Lattimore. He got the lead, and I thought he was going to have to really play some good defense because of how close it was. And now here's the 39, making that pass work and sliding right up in front of the 03. He made that pass, and that's good. But Chris Lattimore, he's starting to pull away a little bit, and that could be dangerous, especially from somebody who has a lot more lap time than anybody else in the A main already. So this could be good stuff here from all these guys that are starting or that are going to finish this race in the top 5.
Yeah, right now it's the battle between Pompey and DeLello for the transfer spot. Everybody's still running. We're on lap 27 of 40, and here comes DeLello making a move back on Pompey to take the transfer spot back. But if these guys keep barging wheels and racing side by side, that allows Jake McMillan, Zachary Bilson to close in. You notice Allison Rain has made some gains up into the top 10. So don't count anybody out in this stage.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we've still got about 12, 13 laps here in this one to really make something happen. That's more than enough time. If you're in the top 10 right now, you just got to pin it to the bottom and make it happen down there and start making some passes. So yeah, this is a critical battle here for that bubble position in 5th place. You want to be in the transfer spot, and you don't want to be on the bubble, because if you're on the bubble, somebody could pass you and then you'll be out. So this is a critical battle here that we're watching right now between the 03 and the 51.
Yeah, DeLello actually got past Devin Fair to move up into that 4th spot. That bumps Fair onto the hot seat, and he now has Tyler Pompey breathing down his neck for the transfer spot. With Bilson and it looks like McMillan not too far behind, but the whole field's only separated by 5 seconds, so there's a lot still to play for as we now have coming to 9 laps to go.
Yeah, that's Tyler Pompey right there, going to the bottom lane, and that's the passing groove that we've seen so far, and he's going to get a really good run. He won't be cleared on the straightaway, but he's got a great line on entry into this corner. He's going to make the pass happen, slide up in front of that 51 with plenty of room, and now he is in one of the transfer positions. He's still on the bubble, but he's in the transfer position right now. So the 51 is going to have to make something happen to try to get by him, and the laps are closing down.
Yeah, we only have a very small number of laps left in this one. You see DeLello making a charge. He's now racing Bronson Minnick for that 3rd position, and DeLello should easily be able to take it. This 03 is not going places, and in a big hurry. I think that 03 might even be in a safe place now, because we know the 67 and 59, they're probably going to advance. But anywhere beyond that's a big question.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think that that 03 is starting to come alive right here. It's a little bit, maybe too little too late. Of course, he is in the transfer spot. But yeah, that is a great run right there from the 03, who is now trapped on the outside of Bronson Minnick. He's making it work. He got a really good run right there, but I think the 91's going to have him down the straightaway. Oh, so close. 03 is looking really good on the outside.
Yeah, there's still going to be 4 laps for him to get that back. He's got plenty of time. And remember, just because you finish in the top 5 in this race doesn't mean you're solidly locked into anything. That means you start right at the back for the B main, and you got to do it all over again. So no rest for these guys trying to make their way up through the ranks.
Yeah, but you have to advance to get there, and of course you really desperately want to avoid elimination. Nobody wants there to be one of the first drivers eliminated of the whole event, and that's what we're looking at right now. Everybody 6th on back is on the brink of being eliminated with only a couple laps left in this thing. So that's the 51 is going to have to pick up the pace here if he wants to have any chance of advancing right now. And now we look back to the battle for the lead, where the 59, Zachary Fitzwater, is catching up to Chris Lattimore a little bit. He might have enough juice left to make a move here on the final lap.
White flag is out in the C main feature, and Zachary Fitzwater doing everything he can to get by Lattimore. This is for a spot in the B main. These two know it. They're going to try and coax it on home in one piece, but they're going to be side by side in the drag race to the line, and Lattimore's going to get him at the line to win the C main. Chris Lattimore's moving on up, as is Zachary Fitzwater. Zachary DeLilla makes it in 2. Bronson Minnick does as well. And for the final transfer spot, it's Tyler Pompey over Devin Fair to make the B main. Everybody else goes home empty-handed. But that was a race worth paying attention to, because there's a lot. You were right. There were a lot of comers and goers in that, and people in the B main are taking notes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and the B main is 10 laps longer than that race, so that was it was an exciting race. We had a lot of people who were up front and then ended up in the back, but then we had a guy like Chris Lattimore who he started 4th, he got the lead, and then he never gave it up until he nearly did on the last lap. But that it's just a type of thing where track position might just be king, and you're going to have to get up there quickly.
So from Duke Anzac and from myself as well, we say so long from the C main feature. We'll see you again tomorrow night for the B main feature, where the top 5 in this race will go toe-to-toe with everybody else who's not yet locked into the A, and we'll find out which 5 guys can make the A main feature 2 nights from now. So long from Oswego, but really, the fun's just getting started.